Okay, some of you guys who have been watching me for a while will recognize this. This was last year's 5K at the Reindeer Run, and if you remember well enough, the conditions were absolutely terrible, and I ran in a time of 19:02. So today I am revisiting this 5K with my friend Miles in efforts to break 17 minutes in the 5K, knowing that today's conditions are actually good to run in. This was my first actual race since my break after cross-country season, so I didn't have many expectations going to this race and was just looking to put in a good time with my friend Miles. And here we are at the start. You may notice the guy in the pink singlet, he was here last year and he won last year's race, so I didn't think I was going to win this considering he was there because he runs quite a fast time today, but the goal is to sort of just stick with him for as long as I could while not going out too fast. And here at the start, we're sub 4:30 pace for the first 200 meters, which may be a bit fast, but can't help it because I felt really good this morning. 73, first 400. You guys saw me look at my watch and we came in through 400 at 73 seconds, which is about 4:52 mile pace. That is nowhere near what I'm running for a full 5K, not even the 2 mile even. Knowing I went out a bit fast, I just wanted to lock into my rhythm and hopefully click off the first mile around 5:20, which was the goal. And that wouldn't be too hard to do considering this course was very flat. And now that track season is around the corner and I'm primarily training for the mile, which will be my longest event during track, unless I run a couple 2 miles. I'm only running about 20 to 25 miles a week because I run well off of lower mileage. So even if I were to run around the same time as I would have during cross country, I would be very satisfied with that considering I was running 30 plus miles a week in cross. And by now we're about to hit the half mile marker. I remember looking down at my watch and I saw 2:34, so 5:08 mile pace, which is still a bit fast, but you know, I felt really good by now. And you can see we're not too far back from the pink singlet runner. I mean, we kind of are, but to the standards of last year, we are much closer than before. And by now I'm actually in second place in the race, so let's see if I can hold this spot. And now that this year's conditions are actually enjoyable, you can see how nice of a 5K route this was. Last year it was impossible to tell because we had about 35 to 40 mile per hour gales on the streets. It was absolutely terrible. And by here I was actually starting to feel the pain a bit from how fast I went out. You can see my heart rate's almost at 190. And by now we're actually approaching the first mile, so let's see what I can come through in. Boom, 5:15 for the first mile, which is pretty fast. That's faster than what I want to be there at, but I'm very happy with that first mile. It did feel pretty good for 5:15, but like I said, I was starting to feel it by now. And by now we are approaching the halfway point. We're at 1.14 miles now, so obviously we turn around 1.5 or even a bit further than that. And like I said, you can see how much nicer it was this year. The conditions last year were absolutely horrible. And by now my heart rate had breached the 190s barrier, which is pretty rare for me. I typically have low heart rate on my races, but I'm not surprised. I'm training for the mile and a 5K is just a far event for me, considering my max distance in track is the 2 mile. And in the second mile, we have slowed down just a tiny bit. We're at 5:27 pace at the moment, which, like I said, I don't feel the best here, but I'm just trying to cruise along, get to halfway. And I would say the last half of this race is harder than the first. There's some tiny gradual uphill, and it really gets to you. And you obviously have noticed by now, I'm by myself basically this entire race, and that's what really made this so hard for me. You know, running by yourself makes it just so much more painful than running with a group, which will help push you. And here we can see the leader. He just finished his first half of the 5K, so he's hit the turnaround part. You can see it just up ahead. And actually, I was much closer than I expected, but from here, he actually pulls away pretty fast. Personally, I'm absolutely horrible at turnaround marks in races, so I did lose quite a lot of speed here, but at least I was able to get back into my rhythm right after. And here we pass about Miles. He's not too far back. He's been running a great race so far. And this is the part of the 5K where you just have to completely grind it out. We have more than a mile and a half left, well, just about a mile and a half left, so I still have a lot more left of this race, and that's what sort of added to the pain. I'm at 194 in my heart rate here, so you can tell I was feeling it, and by now we're actually approaching the 2 mile marker, so let's see what our second mile is. You guys also may have noticed that Charlie isn't in this race like last year. He had to cancel last second for a wrestling tournament, which I am not happy about. You guys gotta put some comments about that. It's very unfortunate that he wasn't able to make it, because last year he was with me at this part of the race, and that's what helped both of us push through this section. Just about 200 meters until we hit the second mile. Everyone's staring at me. I had the most try-hard outfit for this 5K, but of course I'm gonna try hard a road 5K, because why not? One of these years I have to dress up as the Grinch for one of these races, something like what the Athlete Special do. And here we come through the second mile, 5:27 and 10:43 for our 2 mile split. It's not bad, we did slow down quite a bit, and this last mile is where you can really tell that I was feeling it. As you can see on the left, our pace did slow down by a bit. We are over 5:30 pace, well, not anymore, but throughout this mile, I was just slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, speeding up. I was just out of it here. It was just super hard to like focus by myself. And the thing is, by now we were almost like just about at 2.3 miles, which meant we still had about like 0.8 left to run, which seeing that just hurt, knowing that I was already in a world of pain by here. And as you can see, we just have a flat next 100 or 400 meters. The rest of the course is just straight, basically with one turn. So it was kind of hard to gauge where I was at, even though I could see in the distance where the finish line was. Yeah, just completely ignore what I just said. I have trouble finding things to say in these longer type of race videos. But what I will mention, you can see our pace really slowing down now. We're at 5:40 now, and I believe we actually got to 5:45 pace. And like I said, I was out of it here, but luckily once I'm within the last 400, I'm actually able to speed up. Luckily, I did have quite a kick. Not really, but I was able to kick a bit. Now we are approaching 3 miles. As you guys remember from early in the season, I hope you remember, but I ran 60:19 in the 3 mile for my season opener on a pretty hilly course, which is really cool to run. And actually today, let's see how close I can come to that splitting at the 3 mile, knowing that I have an extra 200 meters, knowing that this is a 5K. At this point, I was hurting so bad, to be honest. I just wanted this race to be over, but you can see me starting to pick up the pace ever so slightly as we enter the last 300 meters of this race. And finally, we're about to start running back in the 5:20s, which is really where I need to be if I want to finish this race fast. And just like that, we end up running our 3rd mile in a 5:38, so we slowed down quite a lot and came through 3 miles in 16:20, just 1 second slower what my all-out 3 mile was just a couple months ago. And here our sprint finish. I am really picking it up now, knowing that I have less than 150 meters left. Let's see what I can finish this 5K in. So we PR'd by over 2 minutes this year. We ran a 16:50, which is about where I was at the start of cross country, but now that I'm training for the mile, I'm very satisfied with that. And overall, the conditions, like I said, were really good, as you can see from the race. And overall, very happy. I got 2nd overall, which was also like 6 spots up from last year, so everything just got better. So it was overall a really good race.
Number 2, we had Henry. All right. There you go. right over here. He did really well. 16 minutes and 54 seconds. In third place.